Welcome back to this Junior's Gasoline Alley, where today we're going to be solving for these yellowed headlights on my E90 BMW 325. And as you may know, I'm restoring this car, getting it better, and making it fresh for somebody else to enjoy. And one of the things I want to tackle is getting these headlights freshened up and maybe making that orange reflector just go away in general. Now, I do have a second headlight that I've already pulled out. Let me show it to you here. This one is already pulled out, so I got a good idea of how I'm going to get this done, even though I don't want to take the bumper all the way off. And you can tell on this one, part of the reason we got to get these taken care of is that headlight is bowed off as if we were turning to the passenger side and causing an error and also making the light not work. And one of the weird things about how this is set up is the headlight itself has bolts underneath the bumper. So you have to get at those to be able to get this out. Up top, we've got a couple of torques to undo. Got to get the bumper pulled away and out of the way, as well as you got to make sure that you take care the washer fluid popped off as well so that you don't end up breaking it. And that kind of just pulls off. We can place that to the side and get to work pulling the headlight out. So where we're going to start is if you get the tire turned, you'll be able to get some room underneath the hood here. And you'll simply just begin by taking the screws out that are holding the fender liner in. While being able to get the fender liner out, that's going to gain us the access we need to get at the bumper mounts and the headlight mount. So start with that Torx that's up top there, and then there's two standard sockets that are holding the bumper onto the fender. So the Torx comes out for the headlight, and then boom, the two bolts come out. Now on top for the headlight, you've got two more screws there. And then we've got to find two additional screws that are holding the inboard side of the headlight to the radiator support. So just get in there with your ratchet, zip, zip, both will come right out. And then it's just a wrestle and match to get the headlight. Of course, if you have a nice car with good paint, you probably won't be as rough as me, but you don't have to take the bumper off. And because I'm going to be replacing the lenses of these headlights, you're going to need to bake the headlight to soften up the glue to get the lens to come off. So I'll hit the preheat on the oven and then get to removing the electronics from the headlight. I'm going to start off with this angel eye setup, see if we can't get this separated here. That goes out to, that wiring is just real bad shape there. See if we can't get this unscrewed. There you go. The xenon bulb. Down here, this of course is our halogen high beam. Oof. Look at all that corrosion on this thing. Wow. That's in rough shape. There we go, that's one done. And I'll save you the pain and cussing that went on while I was trying to do something with getting this lens off. I put the whole headlight into the oven, went ahead and heated it on 270, 275, even up to 325, with no luck getting this darn thing to come apart. So as you could see in that video earlier, I was having some real trouble getting these to come apart, and you can see that I am getting some progress on getting the plastic to loosen up, but it is deforming a bit, especially since it's now cooled with all the prying still there. So what I'm hoping to do now on this particular guy, and I specifically was leaning this on the metal grates of my oven on the lens, because the lens is what's going to get replaced. What I want to do is make a small little cut in here to see if I can get a spot where I could put my fingers in and start pulling it apart. I can't really do that on the side because you can see this plastic bit for the headlight lens holder is in there. And then as we go through this side, obviously your reflector, don't want to destroy that. But I would like this to be able to come apart, and it's far enough away from our angel eye that I think I can make a little cut right here, be able to get my hand in and start to pry the corner because I feel strongly that if I heat these back up and I'm able to begin to pry the corner open, I should be able to get into this lens without really a problem. There we are. So yeah, that's definitely gonna give us some room to make some success pulling this apart. Let's toss it back in the oven and see how we do. Out of the oven, 20 minutes on 275. I wonder, am I gonna get any more success this go around? Well, I'll save you waiting and watching me pry at this to get the answer. And well, the simple answer is yes, I had a lot of success getting the lens to start pulling out, and it actually started to work the way I wanted it to. However, one small problem, and that's the angel eyes. I was being so careful not to get them with the Dremel, but I messed up when prying the headlight apart. You can see here the angel eyes get caught and snap. Yeah, I broke an angel eye, and I just earned myself the need to go find a new headlight, because obviously you can't replace these angel eyes on their own. And got it open. Clearly has some serious cleaning to do in here, but that's really not a problem. What is a problem now? Look at that. Ugh. I broke one of the angel eyes. Gosh darn it. Man. So after the debacle with the other one, I went ahead and cut a line all the way around this one to hopefully allow it to cut open, and I'm hopeful this means I can pull at least the angel eyes and that part of the lens off. Now in doing so, it's missed on this one. Okay, well, like anything, that's what's gonna happen. Just broke. And what you saw just break there is there's a little tab behind the reflector that's glued up into the top corner of the headlight housing. And well, that had to break because of the way I was taking it apart, and just sucked. But regardless, what you're seeing me here do now is go through. I have heated up the light just like we've done in the past. That softened up the glue, and this is what's going to allow me to pull the ring of the plastic lens out of that V-channel that holds the butyl glue and holds the lens and the housing together. This process, relatively uninspiring, but it definitely works better than the way I was trying to do before. Sacrificial to the lens, but if you're ever going to be opening these up, why on earth would you not put a new lens in? Anyways, they're cheap and will just make it look way better. And of course, with the glass half full, I've now got 2 headlights of experience for when I take apart these new-to-me headlights off of a donor car that I found on eBay. Not cheap, but it's going to provide me the parts I need to repair the headlights anyways, because of course I still have to fix that adaptive headlight issue and get some new parts going in on the old headlight. See that right in there? That is the spot. Should I be able to get to it? You see that? That just lifted up. Now I just got to do that again. Totally blind. Damn. Look at that. That worked out. There we go. Cool. It's up and out of the way. And out with the old servo motor. You can see the old one fully compressed versus the new one isn't. So put that in. Let's see. So I'll get the... And what I was able to do is actually steal the adaptive headlight motor, the adjuster for left to right on the projector from those replacement headlights that I purchased. Was able to kind of wedge everything together, take the motor out of that to put in the old headlight, and then it of course worked so that on the other headlight where I needed to replace the angel eye, I got those angel eyes from it. So no harm, no foul. Of course, didn't want to do that, but it was helpful. And what you're seeing here now is really just reassembly of the headlight. Need to make sure everything stays clean, but get the reflectors put back together, get the headlight back together in a way that we could then move on to working on those reflectors and getting our lenses installed. And that's when I began to do the wrapping of the reflectors. Now, personally, I didn't much care for the look of those orange reflectors. I like the Euro ones, which are kind of a white reflector. However, I saw a few people do a carbon fiber look that looked kind of OEM, so I was going to give that a shot. And then I also had some black vinyl, almost faux wood look that I was going to use on the interior that actually ended up looking pretty nice here too. This is with the new lens and that wood look. I've got a couple of videos of those, but for some reason I didn't take a video off of the car of the carbon fiber look, but it's pretty nice too. So now let's compare how they look on the car. Personally, I was torn because in many ways I liked the look of the carbon fiber, but I didn't like having fake carbon on the car. The black, well, it just looked too aftermarket because it was just straight black. Game time decision, I took everything apart, rewrapped it in this brushed titanium graphite color that ended up coming out matching factory paint extremely well, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. The only thing left to do is now get the headlights back together for real. And what that's going to involve is we need to go through, clean out the channel of where the lens attaches to the headlight housing, make sure it's super clean, and then we're going to use some butyl rope, which this butyl rubber is going to slide into that channel, which we can then heat up that channel, heat the whole headlight housing up, and compress the lens on in a permanent way to the headlights. After that, they're compressed, they're put together. We then install the headlights, get our bumper back in order, get everything back together, and step back to check out what our car looks like now with the headlights complete. And would you look at that? We've got headlights now on the car, and they're looking quite fine if you ask me. This gray with the brushed steel look next to the anthracite. Yeah, I'd say that is not a bad look. I really like it. Really like how that came out. And finally, it's time to turn to our handy dandy code reader, get new headlight controller that's on the right hand side, make sure everything is set, and then enjoy a drive in this car with no headlight light on. What a great change. And personally, I think it came out beautiful. I think these ended up looking really nice on the car. And I think it's fair to say that this is a very satisfying video, although It may not have been the best for adding value to the car, but a new set of lenses will definitely make the car look much better cared for. So before this work, I was into the car, including the purchase of the car, for $1,676.96. Now, once we add all the parts required, including some LED headlight bulbs, mostly because I just wanted the brighter headlights, we're now sub $2,000 still at $1,997.94. Leave that to be what you think and leave me those thoughts down in the comment section below. Love to know, was this worth the squeeze? Was the $321 something I should have spent, or skipped this whole ordeal, left the stock headlights, and pushed on to the next? Leave those down below and join me for the next video on this fix and flip here shortly by hitting that subscribe button.